good afternoon from Galway, Ireland. I'm sitting here on the most westerly point of Europe. It's good morning or good evening to some of you. Welcome back to those of you who were with us yesterday, and a very warm welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time today for the inaugural Global Heart Hub Unite Summit. My name is Neil Johnson, and it's my pleasure to open day 2 of this meeting. Yesterday, I said we had almost 400 people. In actual fact, we had 399. But today, I'm delighted to say we have over 400 individuals from across 51 countries interested in our discussions on the patient voice in cardiovascular disease. Firstly, a word about the Global Heart Hub and who we are. We're just 2 years old, and our aim is to build an international alliance of heart patient organizations and patient advocates, and to support them in developing their capacity and capability as advocates for themselves, firstly, but also as advocates for the collective needs of those living with or affected by cardiovascular disease. I'm delighted to say that in our short 2-year history, we now have over 70 patient organizations across the world affiliated to the Global Heart Hub. And if you're not one of those, can I invite you today to consider affiliation? It's free, doesn't bring any financial or legal obligation. Just visit our website and fill out the affiliation expression of interest form. This inaugural summit, as the name Unite suggests, is a first step in bringing us together and gaining insights and inspiration which will help strengthen our individual and combined voices. We're delighted to have assembled a very fine faculty of contributors to the program, which I hope you'll find educational and inspiring. Before we commence though, can I just mention to you that the way we're building the Global Hub is by bringing patient organizations together and particularly bringing them together around special interests. And so we're building our structure by bringing people together in working groups initially, which eventually become councils. And the councils are this group of people who sit together under the Global Heart Hub banner and work together on our various projects. We have 2 councils firmly established now, one on heart failure and the other on heart valve disease. We have a working group, which is the precursor to a council on cardiodiabetes, and we have working groups planned for 2022, one on ASCVD and the other on women and heart disease. But I'm delighted to say that we have already established a working group on cardiomyopathy and related conditions, and today marks the launch of our Council on Cardiomyopathy and Related Conditions. And I'm delighted now to welcome the welcome the CEO of Cardiomyopathy UK, who's acting as the chair of this Global Heart Hub Patient Council, Joel Rose. Joel, would you say a few words to us, please, about your plans and aspirations and your ideas around what this council can do?
Sure. Well, thank you, Neil. Hello, everyone. My name is Joel Rose, and I'm the Chief Executive of Cardiomyopathy UK. We're the UK charity for everyone affected by cardiomyopathy. As some of you may know, cardiomyopathy is a disease of the heart muscle. Cardio means heart, myo means muscle, pathy means disease. It isn't a single condition, but a group of conditions that affect the structure of the heart and reduce its ability to pump blood around the body. Estimates on the prevalence of the condition vary, but most people believe that it affects around 1 in 250 people. The world of cardiomyopathy has some unique challenges, and some challenges that I'm sure we share with other heart conditions. Awareness is perhaps our biggest challenge. I think that it's fair to say that we've seen some increase in general awareness of cardiomyopathy, but there's still clearly a great deal that needs to be done to ensure that everyone knows the signs and symptoms of the condition and the importance of knowing your heart history. Another problem we face, at least in the UK, is that there's a preconceived idea among healthcare professionals of what a person with a heart problem looks like. Often people with cardiomyopathy don't fit this stereotype. And in turn, that leads to a high rate of misdiagnosis, especially among young people who are often told that their shortness of breath, exhaustion, palpitations are asthma or anxiety. There's a significant genetic component to cardiomyopathy, and this means that we face the challenge of ensuring that people with the condition are able to access genetic counselling and genetic testing, and that both clinicians and people with cardiomyopathy take time to look at the history of heart disease in their family, and if necessary, inform at-risk family members. There are currently no specific treatments for cardiomyopathy, and although there are new drugs coming through the pipeline and some exciting research being undertaken, as a less common disease, researchers often struggle to fill trials. We want more researchers to be able to engage with the issue so that cardiomyopathy can get the attention and focus it needs. So given all these challenges, it kind of makes sense for charities with an interest in cardiomyopathy to work together. In particular, to share ideas, information and resources, and to support each other, to support the creation and development of new patient-led cardiomyopathy groups in areas of need, to collaborate on international projects such as awareness campaigns. And we also feel that there's a role to play in helping to shape, promote and support international research. I first became involved with Global Heart Hub a few years ago, and I'm a huge admirer of the work that Neil and lots of others have done to bring together this amazing group of heart charities from around the world, sharing ideas, to learn together, to speak with a unified voice, and deliver really impactful work through the special interest groups, the councils. So last year, we started talking about the possibility of creating a cardiomyopathy council, to bring together the patient-led charities with an interest in cardiomyopathy to tackle all these big challenges that we face. And since those first discussions, we've been able to bring together charities from the US, from Germany, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, Australia, and the UK. And we started to plan for our first project, an international awareness raising campaign, where we hope to emulate the success that other councils have had in raising awareness of specific heart conditions. So now we're ready to officially launch the Cardiomyopathy Council and encourage any other group to have an interest in cardiomyopathy or who support people with the condition to get in touch with me via Global Heart Hub and come and be part of this new initiative. I'm confident that with support of other groups, we have a better chance of tackling our challenges and delivering for our community. So do please get in touch, and thank you.
Thank you, Joel. And to reiterate that call, this council is now officially launched. We have an opportunity through today's conference to reach out to any of you who might be interested in getting involved. As indicated, just contact Joel through the Global Heart Hub. And of course, there's power in number, and that's really what we're trying to achieve here. And the first project in 2022 will be, as Joel has mentioned, an international awareness campaign. So moving on to today's session, which will be moderated by Tamsin Rose. I'm delighted to welcome Tamsin, who is a Senior Fellow for Health at Friends of Europe and the Africa-Europe Foundation. She's a highly experienced facilitator and trainer working in the European and global policy environment. So she's no stranger to this moderation task. And I'll hand over to you, Tamsin, and thank you for supporting us today.
Thank you very much, Neil, and hello to everybody. It's a real privilege to be with this Global Heart community for this afternoon. And I'd just like to explain to you how it's going to work. You saw in the opening video a little bit about the structure, but just let me explain that we're going to start by going into 3 breakout areas. And there are, as you've heard, there are specific councils within the Global Heart Hub, and we're going to have sessions where you have a chance to meet the leading experts in this field and a chance to explore issues with them. We have 3 breakouts. We have heart failure, we have heart valve disease, and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, that's ASCVD. So that's going to run from 3:10 until 4:20. Then we're going to have a short break, and we're going to encourage you to get up, move around, and have that physical break. Then at 4:40, we're going to come back, and we're going to have a session that explores technology, the role it could play, should play, and what benefits it might bring in cardiovascular care. And then we will be closing with our final comments and summary just before 6 o'clock this afternoon. So that's how we're going to work together. Let me now share with you, and I'm going to share my screen, the different options you have. And I'm sure you're already used to this from yesterday, but here's how you interact with us. We've designed these sessions to give you an opportunity to ask questions or to engage. And here's how you do it. In the app that you're using to watch this video, please don't use the chat to ask us a question. Use the Q&A function. You can see that we have highlighted where you will find that on the screen. Another area where we would really love you to engage with us is to use the hashtag just one thing. And you can see there's a special link on the app and you can click on it. Over the yesterday and today, you may have heard something that inspires you, something new information, something you want to go and share with your colleagues and friends, something you want to note down and remember in the future. That's interesting for us to know what was most impactful for you. So we're inviting you to share just one thing. So through this afternoon, if you hear something interesting, please put it in there. Now, to make sure you keep watching this and you don't get lost when you go to the just one thing, at the bottom of your screen, you can put, it says pop out video. If you click on that, your video will stay, then you'll still be watching what's happening, even if you then go and look at information about the agenda or the just one thing. But we really do want to hear from you. This is the first big summit, and the just one thing message gives us an idea of what you found useful, inspiring, empowering, the added value that you would take away and want to share with your colleagues. We also want to encourage you to have a look at the agenda, and when we go into our breakouts in just a few seconds, you're going to have to choose one of the three options, and here's how you do it. You can see on the screen that you'll see on the left-hand side of your screen, you should see the agenda. You need to click on it, and there are three options. So you need to go into, click on it, the specific breakout that you want to go into it. I will be hosting the heart failure event, so I'll be seeing those of you who want to join me there, and there are hosts waiting for you in the other two breakouts, as well as the speakers. So that's where you'll be going after we finish and after I send you off. So I don't think there's anything more that I need to say to you other than I'm going to enjoy speaking to those of you who are in the heart failure group. Please make sure when you leave this that you choose the option where you'd like to go into, because that will be your opportunity to engage more specifically with the experts in that disease area. Thank you, and I will see you, all of you, after the break, and I'll see some of you in the heart failure breakout. Thank you, and see you in a few minutes.